Welcome to Save Point Sass, where every checkpoint comes with hot takes, chaotic tangents, and a little bit of shade.
Two queer gamers, wildly different play styles. Breaking down what we're playing, what's going on in gaming culture, and what deserves a health potion or a rage quit.
This is Save Point Sass. Load in, level up, and stay petty. So, even though we had all this gaming news occur, I wasn't even here in the US.
You were not.
I was not.
That's where you were.
I had a little bit of a vacation in Amsterdam. I was there for 1 week, and wow, was it different than the US.
Tell us about it.
Definitely a huge cultural experience. Lots of eclectic, variety of people. Everyone's so confident in their style and their ability. Things that you just don't see here, maybe in the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone feels so true to themselves and feel like they're authentically them, right? And accepted, which is very cool to see. It was interesting. It was interesting to see be in that new environment. I had brought my Switch 2 with me, right?
Did you play?
I did not play as much as I thought I would, meaning that I played 0. But it's so interesting because I was really wondering what would be the kind of the atmosphere in Amsterdam. Like, would it be gaming oriented? Would it be kind of more non-gaming oriented, right? Because here in the Midwest, right, I feel like we've had so much excitement with the Switch 2 launch. We've been in like-minded people around us who are very gaming and gaming enthused, right? Lining up for the Switch 2. You just walk around and you feel this aura of gaming excitement here, and we're based in Chicago, right? So you have this very strong gaming atmosphere, like-minded people. You just walk down the street and you see someone who pulls out their Switch on the train or something.
Or a lot of people are like wearing gaming shirts or characters and have charms on their backpack.
Exactly.
And, hats and even collabs, right? So collaborations between major fashion brands with like video game companies, Street Fighter, Mario, Metroid. And so you're saying that in Amsterdam it was different than that?
Yeah, it was interesting because I feel like they had the same type of gaming vibe, but expressed differently, right? So I didn't really see too many individual gamers, right? No one really gave me like a gaming vibe, but that doesn't mean that they aren't gamers, and they're, when they go home, they probably still do the same things we do, right? But one thing that I did find interesting was so much memorabilia everywhere, memorabilia stores, right? So places where you can buy any types of tchotchkes or collectibles. They have that Lulu store, right? But in general, that's kind of where I was seeing a lot of the gaming culture, right? Seeing random Pokemon figurines or random Hello Kitty figurines. That seems like where a lot of the culture is, right? You could go to
Pokemon and Hello Kitty to me screams like an older demographic. So would you say that, when you went to those stores or you saw that memorabilia, it was more aimed at older gamers' nostalgia, or
I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. I think it was targeting that millennial demographic that loves to buy like $7 figurines rather than targeting kids or maybe younger adults, right? Definitely feel like I was that target audience. But it was just so interesting because literally you see those stores on every block, right? Different types of
like
stores.
the small stores, but they had
these small stores or even these corner stores, right? Where they're selling everything, and then just you'll see in the front they have like, here's our miscellanea collectibles.
So you never actually saw a bona fide game store?
I never saw a game store. Nowhere that I could actually buy a Switch or Switch games or any type of thing like that, right? Maybe I was in the wrong area. I was in Amsterdam proper, right? You didn't really have too much big box stores, right? We've gone to Best Buy, we've gone to Target to find our gaming solutions, right? Those don't particularly exist in the same level in Amsterdam, right? They do have department stores, but even those are smaller, right? I'm actually not sure where I would buy a Switch 2 if I had to in Amsterdam, to be honest.
And that's so interesting because we're in the midst of, we're in the honeymoon of the Nintendo Switch 2 launch.
Yeah.
And so you would think that it would be really obvious where to get one. So, did you see any ads?
I didn't see any ads. I didn't see any type of... That was so surprising, right? Is that as prevalent as has been here, I really didn't see too much advertising or Nintendo at all, right? I did talk to somebody, right? And they had also bought the Switch too. They are also living in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So it does exist, right? People do enjoy gaming in Amsterdam, right? And she had great things to say about it. She had picked up the Switch too. She picked up Split Fiction. So
Mm-hmm.
she definitely loves this game, right? And maybe that's the idea of like even in these cultures where maybe gaming isn't as prevalent, Switch 2 then provides that access to these types of games, right? So for example, she didn't know that Split Fiction was not a console exclusive, right, for Switch 2, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because Switch 2 is so accessible, that has afforded this demographic this game that might have would not been available otherwise.
You know what is surprising to me is that you say she.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people would assume that, in the European gaming environment, it is male or
yeah,
man dominated.
right.
And so that's very interesting and surprising to me to hear that, in this market where you're saying that there's no ads around
Right.
for gaming stuff and that mostly people are not flaunting that they're a gamer or
Right.
not, you know, uh, advertising to others their gaming preferences that maybe, and it's probably not this way, but in my head canon, that women are leading the way,
Yeah,
and maybe that's one reason that it's like that, because they don't need to flaunt or
right.
show
Or it
because
could
they
be that
just play their
the
games.
gaming culture is more accessible to a wider demographic, and it's
Yeah,
not overridden by maybe your stereotypical gamer,
yeah,
hardcore gamer.
that would be the hope, but we're probably wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I only saw a very sliver of Amsterdam while I was there, right? But um, it does seem very approachable, right? To gaming, right? Are accessible to gaming, right? Nothing made me think that I would be intimidated from joining the gaming environment there, right? So maybe that's what you're identifying is that it's not just elite gamers, right? It's accessible
Yeah.
to everyone.
Well, you obviously could not walk, drive, swim, or take a bus or drive to get to Amsterdam.
Sure, yeah.
So you,
Oh, yeah, yeah. I see
you
yeah. On my way back from Amsterdam, I was on the plane, right, and someone was using their Switch, right? So
yes,
that was
a
cool to
Switch
see.
too.
It was no, it was a Switch one.
Okay,
I could tell from the Joy-Con.
we live for the OG.
Yeah, but just so you know, that is the market, right? Of you have a couple hours to some downtime. You pull out your Switch 2, and you can play Elden Ring.
Do you know what they were playing?
They were playing it looked like they were playing Pokemon Sword. Definitely a Pokemon
Okay,
game. I couldn't really tell which version it was.
okay.
Um, but that was cool. It was cool to see. So clearly there is some type of demographic there that enjoys gaming.
I mean, there are 150 million Switches out there, so
Yeah, I would bet.
bound to see
Should be a
one.
couple.
Yeah, around.
Um,
It's interesting because we're talking about like modern game culture, modern gaming, advertisements, et cetera. But that's what a lot of people think of, but gaming obviously started in arcades
yeah,
with huge
right.
machines, in a very different type of environment and culture than we think of today. And you saying that they are not flaunting their gaming culture and that you couldn't identify like a GameStop or anything like that. I wonder if there were more traditional arcades. Did you see any?
That's interesting. Um, I don't think I saw traditional arcades, but everything felt very lively, right? So maybe when we
Okay.
associate gaming with kind of bells and whistles and camaraderie
Flashing
and
lights.
flashing lights, right? That general ethos was throughout Amsterdam, right?
Okay.
So maybe it is that what we identify as gaming culture really is uh
Already a part of their
normative
culture.
in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, right?
That's
So
interesting.
that is interesting that you call out. I didn't see any type. I mean, I did see casinos in whatnot, right? So there is that type of
Well, that's a different
that's
type of
a different type of
gaming.
gaming for sure. Um, yeah, I mean it's interesting because I also wonder if it's like we talked about it's as accessible and approachable from like a cultural standpoint. I do
hmm
wonder if like from a financial standpoint whether it's accessible, right?
Do you
Because
know if games are more expensive?
I don't know, but in general, I noticed that things are pretty expensive in Amsterdam, right? So I wouldn't be
Mm.
surprised if
Do they have VAT tax where it's included in the price?
um I think so. I mean honestly, I didn't you swipe the card and you
Oh,
move
they
on.
got you.
They
No.
got me. But that I do wonder if like maybe the gaming because I do know like in Europe, salaries are lower, right?
Hmm.
and generally cost of goods are higher, right?
Okay.
So maybe it is that people are more intentional with their spending, and maybe the 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 gratuitous nature of American spending is not seen in Europe. Uh,
Well, with that being said, you've said that you had an amazing time there
yeah,
and it was a wonderful place. I've never been. I really want to go. So I'm going to ask, what was your save point and your SAS point for Amsterdam?
yes. I will say my save point is that well, I said I didn't play my Switch 2, right? Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I did feel welcomed to bring it, right? I brought it with me to, the park and to when I'm sitting
Oh,
by
so
the
you felt
river.
safe
So I
that no
felt
one was
safe
gonna.
that no one was gonna take it or feel like I was, oh, look at that weirdo playing a Switch 2,
Okay.
right? I felt it was a very accepting culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Despite the sun, right? So because of the sun, you can't really play too much.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
if it had an OLED
if it had an OLED
screen.
screen, maybe, but yeah, I would say the save point was feeling accepted by the culture, right? It feels like somewhere where like anyone with any type of hobbies or inclinations can feel accepted or find their people in
That's
Amsterdam.
cool.
My SAS point, um, probably the sun.
Okay, it was hot.
No, yeah, I mean it's funny because I left right after the heat wave. It apparently got even hotter in Amsterdam when it before after I left. But
Okay.
yeah, my SAS point is that I want to play my Switch. I mean, so much of the value of the Switch, right, is being able to take it anywhere, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that I can't play it in sunlight, then that limits where I can take it,
Yeah.
right? So that was a little bit unfortunate because I was so excited to play my Switch in the park, and then I bring it out and I'm like, oh wait, I can't actually see anything in the screen.
Mm.
So maybe if there was some type of sun blocking thing that I could add to it, or maybe in the next update we'll make it more, or sorry, the next iteration might be more,
Switch to OLED.
yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, but I'm optimistic that there might be something to improve its ability to be performant in the sun.
Yeah. Well, I am so happy that you got to take this trip and you had a great time in Amsterdam. And, I hope to go one day. But until then, I guess maybe we have to learn more about Amsterdam's gaming culture.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now that, this conversation has posed more questions
Yeah.
than we have answers.
Yeah, so maybe it requires another trip to Amsterdam, right?
Yep.
Or more broadly, maybe more exploration across the world, right? To see how gaming culture is.
Yes. All right. Well, that's it for Safe Point Sass this time. Y'all stay sassy.
Stay sassy, stay brassy.